locked in the game.
like I've been smooth for so long, I'm trying to get rough. Buffing my nails, dog, I'm trying to get buff. Shaping my beard up, I'm liking the scruff. The hills, cause I'm living my life in the cut. Can't imagine that I'm gonna meet my wife in the club. club. We gon' see though. I feel like she more of a CEO, or maybe she doing volunteer work in Rio. It's not like I need her, but I would love to meet her.
Well, back now at Acrisure Stadium on the North Shore of Pittsburgh. Currently, it's the Steelers with the football as we get back into the action in quarter number 2. Now runs straight ahead with Warren. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 74 yards rushing for him now as he has been strong here in the first half of this divisional round matchup. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's second down. On the give, it's Warren. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. They'll look to throw. Completes it to Austin. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. But Charles, you look at this offense, they're the #1 seed, a Super Bowl favorite, but it's hard to avoid the topic that this is a rookie quarterback under center making his first ever postseason appearance. Any concern level there?
Well, I would think that we all have some concern because, you know, rookie quarterback, that's just not normal, right? But I think I'd be a lot more concerned if they were the 6 or 7 seed and had to go on the road and play in a hostile environment. What if it was cold outside? But here you've got a guy who's been solid all year, led them to all those wins, #1 seed. I think they have unquestioned belief in it. They also feel like they have a responsibility to help carry them along as well.
That's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs. A handoff for Warren. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Flushed out right. Breaks through the contact, and he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. They'll set up a throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. Jalen Warren with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
You get in a second and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run supported. I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Got ready.
Warren will try the right side. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he goes down, but not before getting us inside the 25. 129 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Second down and 4.
Ready.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to third down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Steelers are going to have a first and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead. And part of that can be attributed to their success on third downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this first and goal.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Najee Harris, well built for work down here near the end zone. That's a nice job there to hold him up. But I doubt we've seen the last of him on this drive.
Again, it's Harris. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Steelers continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead.
And how nice is it to have a guy like Najee?
Ready.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw, eluding the pressure right. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble in second down.
And that is a historic run for him, partner. With that pickup, he just broke Lamar Jackson's 2019 record for most yards in a season by a quarterback. No one has done it better across a 16 or 17-game schedule. Now his name will be forever linked with the best runners to ever play at that position.
Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. Back to throw now on first down. A short one there to Freiermuth. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch it, turn upfield, and pick up the first down.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
And cue the applause, and there it is for him. The mark he's been aiming for all season long. 1,000 yards. Just the third quarterback to reach that milestone, joining Lamar Jackson and Michael Vick. That's a season's worth of work and a huge commitment to get him the touches that he needed to make that happen. Congratulations.
Ready.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Calvin Austin, 51 yards. And the Steelers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass his young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stated.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Okay, ready? Go!
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. So it's on to halftime of this AFC divisional round matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. This fourth and final matchup on this divisional round weekend. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. We'll start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Patrick Mahomes, excellent in the W, as his guys get victory number 12 on the year.
Let's go! Ready?
They'll start this drive out on the ground. 141 yards rushing for him now in the ball game as he is trying to will his guys to the championship round next weekend.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. Second and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
Gonna let one fly for Robinson. That's caught inside the 20. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 46 yards.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
Ready, ready?
They'll run it. Warren. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away.
Turns into a nice play.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
Now a run with Warren. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Ready.
On the run, it's Warren. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Go. Go.
Now back to throw. And he's got it. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
The offense is staying out there. Here we go
now.
on 4th and goal from the 1.
Ready.
It's a quarterback sneak. Trying to wedge his way in there. No signal. I don't think he got there. He didn't. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And the Ravens come up big down at their own goal line.
Ready, ready. Let go.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Here now 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. Back to throw here. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there were...
Here we go. Shot.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up 3rd down. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Back to throw now in his own end zone. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. They go play action here on 1st down. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that's caught inside the 35. And he will finally be shoved out of bounds down at the 30-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 41 yards.
Okay, call me an admirer right here. How about the touch on that throw?
I like the timing catches, the short ones, but those rainbows that drop right in the bucket, something pretty about them.
Really is, and let's face it, we always talk about arm strength. We love the guys who can throw it through the car wash and the ball comes out dry. But those guys with touch, as we just saw there, those guys are valuable.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. 2nd and 10 here as we sit in the 3rd quarter of this divisional round matchup. They're going to look to throw. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Out of the gun now on third down. A throw left side, caught by the tight end Freiermuth. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. Here's Warren. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
2nd and 6. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
On third down, Warren, and he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. 155 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
Ready.
Looking to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Go.
Warren. Fights up. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Jalen Warren saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Steelers go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points.
Well, this...
Let's go now.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left.
Ready.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Ready.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Let go.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Warren. Consecutive runs of 6 yards gives him a 1st and 10.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell him to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, lost some yardage.
Hey, you gotta go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4.
Now a handoff up the middle. Warren, and he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves, you're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about running them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. It's Warren. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Roquan Smith drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
Well, we knew.
Come on, come on. Check. Check, Bobcat, check, Bobcat. Ready?
They'll run on first down. Warren. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Get it?
2 yards to go, 2nd down.
Let go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's got a man, it's his fullback. 7 yards there and a first down.
A 7-yard gain. And the Steelers first down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Ready, ready?
A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And Freiermuth going to have a Steelers first down as he'll take this down to the 22-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
On first down, it's Warren. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Ready?
Now 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Warren. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now.
Ready, ready?
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They'll run on first down. It's Warren. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Jalen Warren, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers are drawing closer to a date in the AFC title game as they extend this 4th quarter lead.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed.
And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season.